Hello my baby gorillas, and as you can see we're down to our last under 750 signatures required for the release of the Muslim child rape gang reports to come out in full. So it looks like they're going to have to debate these in the House of Commons, and I think it will get kicked into the political long grass. So I would suggest that not only is this put forward, but you also lobby your MP to make sure that your MP actually acts upon this petition, because even if this gets 100,000 signatures, which I think it will, the petition in itself may be ignored. So I would also lobby your MP, write to your MP, and try and actually make sure that he does, or he or she does something about this petition, and not allow them to just ignore it, which does happen, even though the people's will is sometimes ignored. So I thought I would go back to what we were discussing the other day about what's happening in Scotland. And this is the Sun report, or the Sun article, the Scottish Sun article. And this was 5 years after the Express article, which we wrote in which was written in the Express. So I'll just read this out. And it says, the Vile Gang, Police Scotland took down large-scale asylum seeker grooming gang in Glasgow, but kept it secret. So we have a Muslim Justice Secretary, and the police are keeping things like this secret. Cops took down a huge asylum seeker grooming gang in Glasgow, but kept it secret. The gang preyed on vulnerable young girls in the city and had at least 44 victims, including a core group of 6. My goodness. 6 youngsters who were all known to each other. It's believed one of them had been abused by 28 men, and other linked to 23. 55 suspected members of the vile group were identified by officers, with 46 positively identified. All men were asylum seekers from Kurdish, Afghani, Egyptian, Moroccan. I don't know how you'd be seeking asylum from Egypt. I don't know what wars in Egypt that you would be seeking asylum, or Morocco, or Turkey, or in Pakistan. So why would they be seeking asylum from these countries? There's no war to seek asylum from, so why would they be seeking asylum? All Muslim countries, no less. So, Operation Carrier was kept under wraps by the Scottish Police Scotland, and obviously the Muslim Justice Minister, and has now come to light after an investigation by the Daily Express. So again, it's the Express that exposed this, not the Sun. Cops say 19 members reported to the Crown Office Prosecutor Fiscal, but it's unknown how many were convicted. I think that, and I don't know what happened to the other 46. I mean, it says up here that there was 55 suspects, 46 positively identified, and cops say 19 members were reported to the Crown Office Prosecutor Fiscal, but it's unknown how many were convicted. I think we should be finding out how many were convicted, and whether or not this was actually covered up. We already know the SNP were covering up the access to the Scottish Defence League, who may have actually known about this prior to this article coming out. Briefing from 2016 operations are stored in the archive of the Glasgow Child Protection Committee. Briefings from so it happened in 2016. Operation are stored in the archives of the Glasgow Child Protection Committee. The horrifying extent of the gang's activity was laid bare in a National Child Abuse Investigation report by Detective Inspector Sarah Taylor. 22 of the suspects were still living in Glasgow at the time, with further 8 still thought to be in the UK. 14 had been deported, with another waiting deportation and 1 in prison. Under the heading Victims, the report states Girl 1, 28 suspects, Girl 2, 23 suspects, Girl 3, 9 suspects, Girl 4, 8 suspects, Girl 5, 4 suspects, Girl 6, 1 suspect, all known to one another. 20 other named girls believed to be victims. A further 18 girls were identified through the course of the current investigations. Cops say they used disruptive tactics, including intelligence gathering, covert policing, financial and lifestyle profiling, looking at the suspects, associates, vehicles, employment. Detective Inspector Taylor said the officers had used all the investigative opportunities to pursue all the known offenders, including involvement in current criminality. They also used grooming and trafficking legislation, preventative orders and immigration status to take down the offenders. They also had support from Glasgow City Council, the UK Border Agency, Bernardo's HMRC and the Scottish Environmental Protection Agency. Asked why Operation Carrara was not made public, the police source said, "We need to be very careful that we carefully consider when and what information to release in relation to ongoing investigations to protect the vulnerable victims and the integrity of the inquiry." Detective Chief Inspector Laura the National Child Abuse Investigation Unit, we are committed to investigating all reports of child abuse, which includes child sexual exploitation. We want to reassure anyone who has suffered abuse that we will listen. Our investigations are always victim-focused and victim-led, and we will ask our partners in support services to assist. Our National Child Abuse Investigation Unit provides specialist support for the investigation of complex child abuse and neglect across Scotland. However, part of the success in delivering child protection is local officers working with their partners in community. Child abuse, including children's sexual exploitation, is complex and challenging area of policing, and we owe it to all children, whether now or in the past, to thoroughly investigate each and every report received. Anyone with information on child sexual abuse is to ask and contact police through 101. We always carefully consider the information to release and protect vulnerable victims and the integrity of the inquiry. So again, we already see the Scottish Government pretty much covering up the abuse of children, and quite substantial abuse of children. We don't know what age these children were. It just says young girls, but it doesn't say what age and where the parents were, and if they were wards of court. So we've got another. So we're just 675 away from them requiring to do something. So we've already put a petition in to have this reviewed in the Scottish. So there's a petition in now to actually have a review in the Scottish Parliament of these things that happen in Scotland, and this one is happening in England. This petition is happening in England. So we're putting another petition in Westminster to put an investigation into Gordon Brown, the former Prime Minister, and Jackie Smith, who was the Home Secretary, to find out what the implications that they had in this grooming gang, which this petition's for. So we want to find out the involvement of Gordon Brown and Jackie Smith, if they covered up the grooming gangs, and there needs to be an inquiry into that. So we'll find out once this one petition, so there's 3 petitions in. This one to release the grooming gang, one to investigate Gordon Brown and Jackie Smith's involvement in it, and another in Scotland to find out more information about what was actually happening with these fake asylum seekers from countries where there is no war, and able to sexually abuse children here under a Muslim, the first Muslim Justice Secretary. So, I mean, that's absolutely massive. We'll put some links in the description for all three petitions, and hopefully we'll get some answers, start to get some answers. The Conservative Party needs to allow the public to actually see this report. Okay, my baby gorillas.